Hey folks, welcome to the Mikey V Show, episode number 3 with my co-host Joey Voices.
How you doing, guys? Thanks for having me, Mike.
Hey, always a pleasure to have you here with us. This show is brought to you by our friends at Arbor Tree Service. Let's see here. Arbor Tree Service out of Wakefield. You can check them out online. Just Google Arbor Tree Service. They take care of everything commercial, residential, stump grinding, wood for your stove or your fireplace. They're Angie's List award recipient. They're locally owned and operated. They've been around New England for well over a quarter of a century. Give Arbor Tree Service a call, 781-245-2826. Ask for Bob Moses, and he will take care of you. That is Arbor Tree Service, folks. Good group of guys. Look them up online. Just go Google them. All right, enough of that. Let's get to the birthday boy here, Joey Voices.
I got 6 more days, kid.
Half a century, buddy.
Half a century.
Happy
Over
birthday.
the hill is what they say. And thank you, brother. Yours was last year?
Yeah.
Remember yours?
Oh,
You know?
God.
I made a video for you, like all your other friends did too. You know? That was a very special, thoughtful thing for Tracy to do. I remember when she did it, and I thought about it. Geez, that's very thoughtful. You know?
I agree, dude. I'm not a big I don't want to say I don't like gifts. Everybody, of course, likes gifts. Even at Christmas time, I'll be like one of the last ones to open my gifts.
Of course, me too.
You take your time, you know. A video, like she had that video made. For those of you in the audience that don't know, I turned 50 last year. My wife had kind of secretly contacted all my friends, a lot of kids that I grew up with, and one of my best friends, Joey Voices here. And they all sent her in videos of special moments of our friendships. And it is the best gift I ever had. And when I look at that video, dude, when I have quiet time, I go back and I look at it, and it's just a cool thing. When is your birthday?
Absolutely. Well, because the sentiments behind it, and everybody, you know, that's when people who love you come out and tell you how they really feel about you. And brother, let me tell you something. That when you're feeling down, all you can do is go back and watch those videos, and that'll lift your spirits or boost you right up. You know, my birthday is Sunday, April 10th.
Nice.
So,
all right, well,
I'm
6
an
days
April
and counting.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yep.
What thing is that?
It's Aries.
Eye of the Tiger? What
So
is that?
the ram.
Remember at the Kowloon?
Tiger Rock.
They had the menu at the Kowloon.
Yeah. So your year, whatever year you were born, it showed you what your spirit animal was. And mine was a rat. So I always hated that. No, I'm a rat. I always hated that. I hate that. I wish I was something cool like a ram, like Aries is a ram, you know? So or an eagle. I would have loved it like if I could have been an eagle, you know, but
it's all good, dude.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking around. I'm just telling you. I remember that, you know, the Kowloon menu.
That's a big 50, dude.
Yeah, imagine.
Do you feel 50?
Dude, no.
Yeah,
when I turned 40, when I turned 40 10 years ago, I woke up in my bed. Now, before that, I had always wanted kids badly. I wanted children. I wanted to meet somebody, start a family. When I hit 40, I had the biggest epiphany. But I also had a midlife crisis that year that lasted like 7 years.
Oh my God.
And it forced me. Well, I would say 7 years. I'd say 5 years. Less than 5 years. But it forced me to reevaluate my life, because I thought I had all the answers by 40, and then I just got hit with a sucker punch, metaphoric sucker punch. But
that was your prime. But you were doing a boatload. You were a ton of shows, man.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of shows, and things were going great. I was finishing up my seminary schooling, I got my bachelor's in 2012. Then 2014, I got my master's degree in biblical theology. So and I was living in Marshfield at the time, and it was just a great experience. But I'll tell you, I was living on the beach down there, and I was I lived in a beach house. So I laying in bed one morning on my 40th birthday, and I woke up and I looked at the ceiling and I said to God, Lord, I'm 40 years old today. I said, if you let me live to be 73, 74, I said, which is, they say, the average lifespan of an American male. I said, if you let me live to be minimally 74, I said, I got more life behind me than I do ahead of me. And from that moment forward, I said, I don't want to bring kids into this world and be an old father, or even bring them into this world, and God forbid something happened to me and I went home to be with God. I wouldn't want to do that to kids. So God took that out of my heart that day. He just took it out of my heart. And right before that day, leading up to that, I wanted kids in the worst way until that day. And that epiphany hit me really hard.
I mean,
now I'm 50 and I doesn't feel anything.
I mean, part of that conundrum too, especially when you get goals set in mind in the entertainment industry, especially, you're moving, you're traveling, you're networking. It's a lot. And I see some of these big celebrities, some of these Hollywood celebrities that have kids that have nannies take care of them all day. They're never there.
Yeah.
Why do that? Why have kids that you're never around? Like, I don't know. To each their own. But it's 50, man. That's
I got like 60 people in my family, grandkids, great grandkids.
Right. Yeah, you got
so many people, nieces, nephews. I got a huge family, so it's not like, and now we have Ace. We have our new puppy. So he's like my son, and Colleen says, man, thank God we don't have kids together. She goes, you're the worst helicopter parent I ever met in my life. And we laugh about it because I worry about him, he's,
man's best friend.
I love him. Oh, yeah. Well, doggy's got it spelled backwards, right? And he's with every step of the way, and step spelled backwards is pets.
At 50, so what do you think, what's on the punch list? What's on the bucket list now?
I mean, I've never really thought about it as a bucket list. I mean, it's, here's how my mind works. Okay. Now, granted, you got to take care of yourself if you want to have a long life. You got to participate. You got to show up and you got to be there and you got to participate in it. So it means you got to work out. You don't put things in your body that are going to hurt you like before, and the older you get, the quicker the law of entropy goes into your life too. So the stuff that didn't hurt you, like drinking, when you were younger, it catches up with you quicker because the law of entropy happens upon your physical body quicker, because your body's basically born and you die quicker as you're older. Now, granted, if you take care of yourself, I think God's plan to let you live a long life, then you can, how do you know you're not going to live to be 90?
True.
How do you know you're going to have 40 more years of this if you don't know? My Uncle Gus is 93 years old. My mother's oldest brother.
Dude, how about
he was in World War II.
The days when we talk about that, like the things that when we were younger, we think that we're indestructible. The days way back in the day, in the late 80s, early 90s at Kai's.
Yeah.
All the crazy, Faneuil Hall, all the Bruins down at Kai's and drinking until 3-4 in the morning, waking up at 7 and going to work. Dude, I'm in bed at 9 o'clock.
Me too, brother. Me too, and I'm happy about it. Like they just joke around. Like Pete Costello, he's a great comic, and we will have him on moving forward. He's a great comedian. But Pete Costello, sometimes I'll work with him, and sometimes on stage he'll joke around about people getting older, and he goes, I'm at the age right now. He goes, where like they used to say about older people, the best thing they look forward to is a nice piece of fish. Like older people look like it's the little things with the older folks that make them happy. And
happy haddock.
I'm
Happy
at the
haddock.
age right now. Yeah. I'm at the age right now. Like tonight, I ordered a haddock plate, and I said to Colleen, I go, look at this nice piece of fish, and I found myself saying it, and we both started laughing. So I cut it in half. I saved half for later, but a big, huge piece of haddock. But it's the little things that you look forward to in life, and there are no little things. Believe me, the little things are the big things.
Yeah.
But as far as bucket list goes, there's things I want to do to add value to the world. Everything that I want to do is meaningful, and it adds value to the world. So that's, I have a bunch of things. Plus with my show, my second book is coming out this year. My first one is already out.
Are you gigging this weekend anyway?
Nothing this weekend, no. But it's which is good because it's been busy. So I could use the week. I had this past weekend off, and then this weekend coming up I'll have off. This is my birthday, so I want to take that off, anyways. So,
speaking of Pete Costello, there's a ton of.
He's great.
I remember him from the Grill 93. He's been on the circuit.
He's been on the circuit for a long time. He helped Dave Russo break into the business.
Oh my God!
Basically, wow. when Dave started out, he like met Dave, and then he knew the ropes, and Dave was new, and so Pete kind of like told him this is it. I mean, Dave had Paul Gilligan, no doubt about it, and he had so Dave made his own bones, and Dave had enough of Paul Gilligan, but when he met Pete just had been around.
Open up another door.
They hit it off. He'd open another door. Pete, Pete's a one guy. I love working with Pete, man. I look forward to seeing him, So we'll have him on. He's a funny comic, man. He's funny. He's really funny.
In Boston, especially, the comedy circuit. I mean, there's even when you go on YouTube, I mean, there's so many people trying to do it, and the few that crack through. I mean, even the Bill Burrs and the Sebastian Maniscalcos, like those guys have been doing it for 25 years, and now they're in Hollywood.
And they hit it overnight. Yeah,
and they're devoted. Like I think about that. Like I haven't devoted 100% to that craft, and that's why I'm still kind of in the in-between mode. Those guys, morning, noon, and night, devoted their whole life to doing that. And
not only that, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, and that's all they focused on. It's like this guy, Mr. Beast, on YouTube. He says, that's awesome. All I did. I had no friends. I was awkward, but I knew I loved YouTube, and that's all I did every single day. Yeah. And if you, with anything like that, and I strongly believe, if you tell yourself, this is what I'm going to do, and do a little bit towards that every single day, or a lot every single day, you will be unstoppable, and you will definitely get there.
And that you'll get there to one degree or another.
Right.
But you'll get there. You'll achieve your goal. But it's up to you as to how big you're going. But you can't worry about the how. The how just kind of shows up according to your commitment to the what.
100%. Without fail. And you can see, though, of course, some people get a lucky break. They meet somebody, or there's a ton of people out there with zero talent, but just have the right network connection.
Yeah.
And you can't
they have a unique sound, a unique voice. Like when you get them on the radio, you know exactly who it is.
Yeah.
So they have a unique tagline, like Rodney Dangerfield had, "Hey, I get no respect, I tell you, no respect at all." Yeah, he had that. When he came up with that was what sold him. That's what did it for him. when he said there's no respect or get no respect. That was his big thing, you know. But a lot of comics are funny, but they don't have that thing that Rodney Dangerfield had, that you know, that sound, that unique look, or that unique like Bill Burr's got this unique way he talks, and it's, you
Right.
know who it is when you hear him on the radio. It's kind of like a whiny type of voice, kind of like, you know, Gilbert Gottfried's got that, oh, it's Gilbert Gottfried, oh yeah, you know, he's got that unique, you know, tag way he talks, that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
No,
you there's no mistaking who he is. It's like Neil Diamond has that unique sound to his voice that makes him Neil Diamond. That's what I'm talking about. With comedians and actors, that's what I'm talking about. It's that thing, that je ne sais quoi, that intangible
right. He owns it.
factor.
He owns it. Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, even like Jim Gaffigan has that funny, self-deprecating,
Yeah.
in the way he delivers his bits.
Yeah.
Another great comedian could do that, but can't
Yeah.
emulate it the way he lays it down. Like he owns the same thing with George Carlin. Like
Yeah. Yes.
again, a lot of great comedians that own that bit just because of the way that they deliver it. And then I hear
Yes.
comedians deliver a great bit, but didn't know how to enunciate it the right way, and are just kind of, yeah, that was okay.
Presentation, delivery.
100%.
Yeah. And they work on that craft for a long time, those guys, to get the way they do their comedy bits down, the way they talk, their speech game, how they set the joke up. They work on that stuff for years and years and years,
Well, even
until they nail it and it's unique. And that's
Yeah.
the key. It's got to be unique.
Dude,
A lot of guys aren't unique. A lot of guys are really funny, but they're just not unique enough.
I see Amy Schumer everywhere, dude. And then I just started Googling her because I see her name popping up a lot on Netflix and stuff like that. And I guess there's a ton of YouTube banter about her stealing other people's jokes.
Wow.
And then I saw a video. This dude made a video of all the jokes, and I don't know her. I'll say it's a, you know,
I know who she is.
You know, but look it up, YouTube it, and he put all the original comedians that created the bit, and then they have her in the other side of the video, you know, split screen, doing the same bit like a year later, and just, you know, changing it,
but making it unique, making it her own. And that's called a hack. But she made it, and granted, she stepped on other people to make it, and that's what sucks about it, you know.
Yes.
But again, her stealing those jokes notwithstanding, it was her unique act, her unique shtick, that unique personality that sold it, and her connections, obviously.
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
you know, she got to come up with her own stuff, and I'm sure that, you know, when you get to that point, you can hire a comedy writer.
Right.
You can't do it yourself, you know.
Right. Right. And I hear a lot of guys that do that.
And, yeah.
I mean, I can name right off the top of my head, and I won't start spinning names out, like 3 major league comedians that all have jokes about Subway, Starbucks, and the airport.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying stupid airport like jokes about peanuts on the airplane. They all have a current joke about, you know, again, Subway.
And it's how they deliver it.
Yeah, and it's the same content.
Like Sebastian Maniscalco delivers it. He brings it home with his personality. He's a physical comic.
Right. Yeah.
He brings it home, and he's hilarious. He's hilarious, dude. I love Sebastian Maniscalco. I think the guy's a riot. I sit there and I watch him and I go, wow, that's a great bit right there. How he did that.
And then some of it's so simple. The bits are but it's the way, you're right. It's the way he delivers it, his mannerisms, where he emphasizes on certain things. Yeah, it's just like, wow, that is fucking funny.
And that's what it's all about. It's not rocket science, you know?
No.
I mean, it's someone like Dave Russo. Dave Russo, I call him the hardest working guy in show business because I've never seen anybody hustle. He hustles more than anybody I've ever met in my life.
Constantly on, dude.
I've known him And I've known him my whole life since we were kids playing hockey, and just a super multi-talented guy. And
Great
you
break
know, he
dancer.
should be big. He's the kid that should be bigger than he is right now. And he'll get there. He'll get there. He will get there. I have no doubt in my mind he'll get there. But it shows you how hard it is. He's been doing it 20 years,
And
22
how
years now.
in the amount of people that are all doing it, especially out of Boston.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many comedians that are still here, in Boston. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, that guy should make, like, and some of them we know personally
Yes.
that are great people,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
just didn't end up in that right party.
This is what he should do. And this is what any comedian out there should do. Write your own sitcom, film it, and if you can't get it picked up, release it on YouTube.
Dude,
Release it.
so
The internet is
free.
your friend.
It's free.
It's free. Yeah. And you can sell sponsors. If the show takes off, you can make money selling sponsorships to companies who will sign on if you get 1 million viewers or whatever to your weekly sitcom. You can do it. You could do it right now. You could do that if you had it. I mean, look, the reality is a lot of times the competition is so fierce in sitcoms that there's a lot of guys that have some really, really funny shows that will never get picked up, and the shows will never see the light of day on any of the major networks. But guess what? The same people that are watching the major networks are watching YouTube. So, release it on YouTube. Get some sponsors. Say, look, this is my sitcom. I'm going to release it on YouTube. Would you like to be one of my sponsors? I'm sure you won't have any problem if your sitcom is incredible. Finding guys, companies with money that will sign on as sponsors to your show. And then you get paid that way.
They just want eyeballs, man.
Then it'll get picked up. Then eventually, if they see that you got millions of followers, then the networks will pick you up for 5 more seasons.
Yeah.
Because it was a big hit on YouTube. That's what people should do.
They don't, just from my years of selling advertising, they just want eyeballs.
Exactly.
They don't care who, what age, what color, what this, what that. They just want as many eyeballs as possible. And it's just it's like the news. That's why every station imaginable carries the news, and they just put bad, provocative, dramatic stuff on because they want eyeballs. And I'm saying, again, I sold it for years. It's just sad. In a way, it's sad because it's bad. It's just upsetting programming.
Well, it's always been that way. If it leads, but it's never been as bad as it is now.
Ugh.
And it shows you why some of these TV stations, cable news stations, their ratings are in the tank, and they're as low as they've ever been because people are getting tired of it.
It's the same, bad weather, bad traffic, here's another shooting, here's another stabbing.
Yeah.
It just, and
we're kids. Watch the news.
It's just pointless. Dude, if I'm going to the same job every day, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and I'm taking the same road, why do I need to know what the traffic is? I know what it is. I'm doing the same thing Monday through Friday. Just put something good on. Put something that's gonna make my kids happy and make me happy.
Yeah.
It's just And back in the day, dude, we had channel 4, 5, and 7.
Yep.
And then 3 stations on the UHF dial. Now you have like 400 plus stations, and there's still not. I'm still flicking through. I usually end up watching YouTube.
Yeah, I watch YouTube. That's all I watch. I watch YouTube. And I'll go to Rumble if I get any podcasts like Joe Rogan or something. I'll go to Rumble and whatever podcast is on Rumble, I'll go there. But I mean, I watch is YouTube. I'll watch on my TV. I watch Amazon Prime. I watch movies on Prime. I watch Netflix. We watch Hulu. We don't watch, the news. We don't watch network TV.
Depressing.
We just don't. Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate that the network TV sitcoms are not getting the viewership that they got before the internet and YouTube and everything else. I'm telling you, they're not. They might want you to think they are, but they're not, because I'm telling you right now, I used to watch network television all the time. I don't watch it hardly at all anymore. You know, I watch YouTube, Netflix, like I just said, Amazon Prime, Hulu, you know.
What's
So
the hot?
that's why I tell people, write a sitcom and put it out on YouTube, man. That's your best bet. If you're a good writer and you can come up with a really good concept, you can get support, backers to follow you on YouTube. If it's good enough, it'll sell. People will come and watch your sitcom every week. It's like watching a podcast every week. You know,
Right.
you know, if it's good, it's good. People will tune in. And then eventually when you get the viewership and the followers and the subscribers, that's when the people with the big money will take notice, and then they'll pay you for it. They'll sign you for it. That's really what they want these days anyways, a lot of these people.
Yeah,
If you talk to any agent, they'll tell you that.
dude,
You know?
we've bought in ads for clients and put them on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. People don't even want to see. You can post a picture of your puppy doing a cartwheel, and they'll get 5 million hits. You know, people don't want to see an ad. We pay to put ads up there.
Well, you could do a video of a puppy doing a cartwheel and put your ad in that.
Right,
Put
like
your ad
clickbait.
inside that video.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You know, it's have somebody running across the lawn with a sign for your company while your puppy's doing a cartwheel. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the only way you're going to get viewers to see your ad.
That's what it's turned into these days. To get it's, you know, all the clickbait.
Yeah, it's true. There's so much competition out there. So many people in the world. Now the world is supposed to. Right now, there's about 7.5 billion people in the world. They said, right? By 2050, they're expecting there to be double 15 billion people in the world now. So a lot of these elitists, these big government elitists, they're afraid of that. So believe me, I won't go down this rabbit hole, but you just think about that. No politics. You just think about that. Think, you know,
what do you
more people? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, before we run out of time, our next episode we'll talk about the upcoming shows we're going to be doing with the comics and the theater that we're booking. But
okay,
I want to wrap up. I just want to see, what are you working on? Any new voices? Are you adding anything?
I got. You know, here's the thing. Anytime I come up with a new voice, I try to add it in. If I can have one or two different voices every year, I'll do that. But here's the thing, and this is very, very important that people hear this, because stand-up comedians will tell you the same thing. A lot of times, people that have been out to see your show, you come to my show, you'll hear me do 40 plus different voices, depending on how long I'm on stage, right? That's a lot of voices. It's a lot of bits. Now, a lot of people will say, or some people will say to me, I actually had a guy say to me, what's up with your act? Is anything new? I want to come and see you. And I said to him, I said, listen, I said, do you know how many people in the world have not seen my show yet? Do you? He goes, no. I go, there's millions of people that haven't seen my show yet. I said, why would I change anything right now? I said, it's not like I'm on television and everybody in the world has seen my act and I got to come up with new stuff all the time. Yeah, my show is impressions of singers, actors, comedians. I change the lyrics around. It's mostly singing impressions where people can sing along and stuff like that. Now I do add stuff, but the point I'm trying to make is there are so many people that haven't seen my act yet.
Oh.
So, and a lot of stand-up comics who aren't national comics will tell you the same thing I just said. Why would I? You know, they'll put new, you know, common current event stuff in there, you know, to make it relevant.
Right.
You know.
Right. That's why it's called a routine.
Exactly. It's routine. Exactly.
And even
you perfect it. The more you do it, the better it gets.
Even when we put clients on TV or radio that have been, you know, we'll produce the commercial and we'll have it run for 6 months to a year, and the client will call and say, I want to do a new spot. I want to do it. It's like, do you understand you haven't even penetrated a quarter of your audience yet? there's
I know.
still a million people, a million listeners, a million viewers out there that haven't seen your ad yet.
Heard the ad. Yeah.
And they know it because it's their, it's their product. They're listening.
Yes.
They're asking their friends, "Have you heard my ad? Look at my ad. Look, tune in at 3:00 to hear my ad." It's their baby, and they're so proud. And it's like, buddy, it's not about you. It's about all the people out there that haven't.
Trying to reach.
They're trying to reach, and it takes so much time to get through the masses.
Yes, it's called consistency in advertising.
And you're right on it.
In advertising,
you're right. You're spot on when you say there's so many people out there that haven't seen it or heard it. I mean, I see great comedians, national acts that are still doing the same bit from 4 or 5 years ago as their staple. It's their staple go-to. They'll go on tour and do some new stuff, but 50% of that stuff is their staple arsenal of bits that still work.
Yeah.
So.
It's funny. Who doesn't want to see you put on a thong and do share every single time? Right?
Listen, Johnny Carson.
That's a great bit. Right? Mike's share bit is a great bit. And I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back. I'm saying it because it's the response I get from people. They crack up. It's hilarious. Or when you do Elvis.
Yeah.
Or when you do Tom Jones and you hit the high note. Right? Or when you do Joe Cocker and you come out and you're falling down and you doing with a little help from my friends. Those are great bits.
Right. And it's
why would you change? Yeah. I can add a couple of things, 1 or 2 things, but for the most part, the act there's so much to the show that you got to just come and see the show. There's people that have been back to my show 5 and 6 times, and they bring their friends with them just to see their friends' reaction when they come and see it. And they love it. And something, I'm grateful that they're out there. But I work on new stuff when I can. If certain things, if it's something that's relevant, I'll put it in there. But other than that, the show is pretty much the way the show is what is. It's clean humor. It's funny. It's very entertaining, and there's a good message in the show.
Speaking of messages, happy birthday again.
Thank you. I'll probably see you this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And happy 50th. You've come a long way.
50 years old.
What was that, a cigarette? You've come a long way, baby. What is that, a cigarette or a drink?
No. That was Kojak.
Telly Savalas.
He goes, "Who loves you, baby?" With the cigarette. Kojak.
Telly Savalas.
Yeah.
I saw him. My kids love animals, and they're big. We have some birds, some exotic birds, and I was showing them the Birdman of Alcatraz with Burt Lancaster and Telly Savalas. He had hair. He actually had hair back in that one.
I know.
Are
you talking about a legend, man?
Yeah. But all right. Happy birthday, brother. Let's get together and go out for a nice dinner this weekend.
All right, that sounds good. I'm looking forward to it.
Do you want to sign off with a little Johnny Carson?
My Johnny Carson's terrible, but that's why I'm going to do it right now, because it's terrible. I'm going to do it because I know it'll make you laugh. I was unaware of that. Steroids. Name something you get from sitting on a stereo. Steroids.
Hey, Ed McMahon he's a local. He was from Lowell or Lawrence, I think. Ed McMahon.
Was he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Look it up. Lawrence. Lawrence.
I'll never forget when he went broke, and I was like, I felt so bad for the guy because I don't know if it was just bad investments or whatever, but he was broke, and Donald Trump gave him $1 million because he was his friend, and he said, something. He goes, there's no way this guy should be broke. I'm going to help my friend, and he gave him $1 million. I'll never forget that. Hello.
All right. Hey, I'll let you go.
I'll see you this weekend, and the Mikey V show. And,
I love it. JoeyVoices.com.
I love it too.
Talk to you soon, bud.
Thank you, Mike. God bless you, brother. And your family.
You too. Good seeing you. Adios.
Likewise. Okay, bye-bye.